Key points about evaluating racing pigeons. Breeding and selecting high-quality racing pigeons is absolutely essential for success in the sport. It requires an ongoing investment of time, resources and expertise. Simply maintaining the status quo will lead to falling behind the competition. Introducing top pedigree birds is important, but you must also continuously improve your existing bloodlines through careful pairing decisions. Determining the ideal breeding pairs is a complex process that can take days of close analysis. The goal is to produce youngsters from only the best possible combinations. Every bird in your breeding program has genetic potential that must be maximized. Pay close attention to pedigrees, looking for that extra spark of brilliance in both parents. Seek out birds that have demonstrated elite performance not only in your own loft but in other lofts as well. When evaluating individual pigeons, you want to see signs of charisma, alertness and personality. A top-quality bird should appear lively and vibrant when handled, looking around intelligently. It should feel sturdy and balanced in the hand, not favoring one side over the other. The tail and back may show some weakness, but overall the proportions should be harmonious. An outstanding pigeon will display no major flaws in conformation. Wing shape is absolutely critical for racing ability. Short, rounded wings like those of a chicken are built for stability, not speed. Long, sharp, powerful wings such as a falcon possesses enable fast flight. When you spread the wing of a pigeon, it should have tautness and resistance, not a flimsy, papery feel. The last 4 flight feathers should have adequate space between them and a curved, aerodynamic shape. Musculature greatly impacts a pigeon's stamina and distance potential. Its simple, short, bulky muscles suit sprint racing while long, corded muscles support marathon endurance. Check for prominent muscling along the breastbone that feels vibrant and taut. Pigeons lacking this tend to fatigue rapidly. As an alternative evaluation, observe the throat split. It should be deep and narrow, allowing an unimpeded view along the length of the cavity. Solid muscling paired with an optimal throat structure indicates racing ability. Feather quality is also important. Well-conditioned plumage with a waxy, oily texture repels water effectively and reduces drag. You can see droplets rolling smoothly off the back of a healthy pigeon. Matted or dry feathers tend to clump and retain moisture, creating avoidable issues in wet weather. Last but certainly not least, the eyes can reveal a great deal about a bird's genetic potential, according to many experienced fanciers. Advocates of eye sign analysis like German expert Joseph Hoffmann maintain certain traits are strongly associated with breeding quality. In particular, he recommends looking for a small pupil, prominent circle of adaptation with serrated edges, speed and distance lines, and a thick iris with dark breeding grooves. The color of the adaptation circle can vary from white to black. Hoffmann advises pairing birds with similar circle colors. The earliest eye traits can be evaluated as 14 to 15 months, once the breeding grooves have fully developed. Even skeptics concede paying attention to eye sign allows breeders to increase the proportion of good racers in the loft, if applied judiciously. However, it remains possible to breed champions without regard to eye traits at all. Ultimately, eyes are just one tool among many for selecting breeders. They provide supporting clues about health and innate ability based on long empirical observation. In summary, a multidimensional evaluation combining pedigree, race records, physical conformation, feathering, muscling, eye sign and overall vitality is ideal for identifying top breeders. The process relies heavily on the breeder's experience and judgment. Every trait provides clues, but must be interpreted holistically to determine the best pairing decisions. Mastering pigeon breeding takes years of dedicated practice and comparison. There are no shortcuts to consistently producing race winners generation after generation. It requires a deep knowledge of your own bloodlines and how different attributes complement each other. Ongoing investment in acquiring new breeding stock is important, but not a magic bullet. Your existing lineage still needs to be strengthened incrementally each year through carefully planned pairings if you hope to stay competitive. Racing pigeons is an unforgiving sport where even a brief pause in improvement leads to falling behind. Any breeder content to stand still will soon be surpassed. Progress depends first and foremost on making the right mating choices to advance your program. Be prepared to take the time needed to study your birds and bloodlines when planning each breeding cycle. Consider every possible combination thoroughly. The pairs you settle on will determine the quality of next year's team, so it is work that cannot be rushed. Few decisions are as consequential to your future success in pigeon racing. When evaluating potential breeders, remember that no one trait tells the whole story about quality. You have to look at the overall picture, with pedigree, race record and physical attributes all weighed together. Pay attention to small details as indicators, but assess the bird holistically. Master breeders develop an intuitive eye for reading pigeon quality over years of practice. It becomes an art guided by experience. Above all, continuous improvement is imperative. Letting your bloodline stagnate is a death sentence in this ultra-competitive sport. Assume that your rivals are constantly advancing, because the best ones certainly are. You can never be satisfied or rest on your laurels if you aim to stay at the top. It takes relentless dedication to keep sharpening your program's edge each season. Any complacency will see you swiftly left behind. Progress depends on making that commitment year after year. For the hands-on evaluative process, always be systematic and consistent. Judge each bird against your own ideal standard, not just relative to others in your loft at the moment. Keep detailed notes on every pigeon's strengths and weaknesses. Be willing to cull ruthlessly if needed to concentrate quality. With careful breeding selections over successive generations, you can incrementally shape your strain toward the performance peak. Emphasize good muscling, especially on the breast and wings. Remember that short, compact muscles limit endurance while long, corded muscles enhance it. Assess feather quality as well. You want a smooth, waxy texture that repels water. Also check for proper wing proportions and a narrow, elongated throat cavity. These traits are essential for elite racing ability. Just as importantly, watch for signs of alertness, vigor and personality. Some intangible qualities indicate spirit and competitiveness. The pigeon should show strong vitality and confidence when handled. You want birds that are observant, poised and quick reacting rather than skittish and shrinking. Consider too how the pigeon balances in your palm. A top bird will feel poised and steady. While structural soundness is critical, don't underestimate the value of competitive fire and determination. The mental edge to persevere under pressure can outweigh marginal physical differences at the highest levels. Some individual birds simply have superior drive and grit. Use every clue you can find to identify and concentrate those elusive natural racing instincts. Never forget it is ultimately the long-term improvement of your own family of birds that brings lasting success, not any individual new acquisition. Succeeding in pigeon racing requires building your program step by step. There are no shortcuts. Incremental quality gains through rigorous breeding selection is the only reliable path. Be prepared to be your own toughest critic. Judge your bird's honest strengths and weaknesses against an ideal standard, not just relatively within your existing flock. Always be looking ahead to how you can make your bloodline a little stronger, deeper and faster than the year before. If you stay focused and organized in pursuing the goal over the long term, the wins will come. There are many reasons to buy my racing pigeon method. Here are some of the best reasons. You will get excellent results. It's a very simple system to use. It's affordable. I have had over 400 first prize winners. It's adaptable to any situation. You can use it with any racing method, natural, widowhood, young birds. It's a very effective method. There is no need to spend a lot of money on fancy pigeon products. It's a reliable system and it is foolproof to use. Professional athletes, race horses, take the same products. There is science behind this, not just hearsay. It is all to do with red blood cells and oxygen in the blood. Without that, a pigeon will not race well, or an athlete will not win a race. If he has low oxygen in his blood, the above is fact and is 100% science. There are a few things you can do to improve your chances of winning at racing pigeons. One of the most important things is to learn as much as you can about the sport. You'll need to know the different types of pigeons, how to train them, and how to race them. Another key factor is practice. You'll need to be able to fly your pigeons competently in order to win races. And, of course, you'll need to have the funds to invest in racing pigeons and other racing equipment.